Picture this: your hometown suddenly transformed into a military zone, not due to an actual crisis like a natural disaster or invasion, but purely because of political tensions between leaders. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? And this is exactly the dramatic situation sparking headlines in Illinois and Chicago, where state and city officials are taking bold legal action against the Trump administration's plans to deploy the National Guard. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a necessary step to maintain order, or an unwarranted power grab that could escalate tensions? Let's dive into the details and unpack what's really happening, step by step, so even newcomers to political news can follow along easily. In a move that's drawing national attention, the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago have filed a lawsuit aimed at preventing the Trump administration from sending in troops from the National Guard. The core argument, as laid out in the lawsuit's opening, is that no American, no matter where they live, should face the specter of being occupied by their own country's military, especially not just because local leaders have clashed with the president. This isn't just rhetoric. It's a direct challenge to what officials see as an overreach of federal authority. The lawsuit, which you can read in full here, https://www.scribd.com, document 9289121, lists both Illinois and Chicago as the plaintiffs. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is leading the charge, declaring that the administration's plan to federalize and deploy National Guard members is patently unlawful. For those unfamiliar with the term, federalizing the National Guard means transferring control from state governors to the federal government, effectively turning these troops into a national military force under presidential command. Raoul goes on to argue that this includes members from both the Illinois and Texas National Guard, and he's seeking an immediate temporary restraining order to stop it all. Why the urgency? Raoul points out that such a deployment could stir up additional unrest, erode public trust in local police forces, and even deal a blow to the state's economy. Imagine businesses shuttering due to fear of military presence, or residents feeling like their community is under siege. These are real concerns that could ripple through daily life, and this is the part most people miss. While the National Guard is often called in for support during emergencies like hurricanes or protests, federalizing them without clear state consent raises questions about checks and balances in our democracy. The backstory? Over the weekend, a leaked federal memo, obtained by CBS News and detailed here, www.cbsnews.com/Chicago/300 Illinois National Guard Troops, Federal Service, revealed that up to 300 members of the Illinois National Guard were slated to be federalized and sent in to protect federal property and government personnel performing federal functions. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker confirmed this memo and added that he'd been informed of another 400 National Guard troops from Texas heading to Chicago, as well as Portland, Oregon. It's worth noting that a federal judge in Oregon already stepped in on Sunday, issuing a temporary block on the deployment to Portland. https://www.cbsnews.com/Oregon-judge.temporarily blocks deployment-National Guard Portland, highlighting how courts are weighing in on these rapid developments. These events are unfolding against a backdrop where the administration has painted Democrat-led cities like Chicago as chaotic and lawless, akin to war zones, particularly amid efforts to crack down on illegal immigration. For example, think of how portrayals of urban unrest can shape public opinion. Is it an accurate reflection of reality, or a narrative amplified for political gain? Officials in these cities strongly disagree, arguing that military intervention isn't the solution, and that federal actions are actually fueling the flames rather than calming them. The lawsuit echoes this, labeling the moves as part of President Trump's war on Chicago and Illinois, branding them as both unlawful and perilous. Repeating the lawsuit's powerful statement, the American people, regardless of where they reside, should not live under the threat of occupation by the United States military, particularly not simply because their city or state leadership has fallen out of a president's favor. It's a reminder that at the heart of this is a debate over presidential power versus state rights, a topic that sparked heated discussions in American history, from debates over federal troops during the Civil Rights era to modern-day clashes over immigration enforcement. Looking ahead, Governor Pritzker and Attorney General Raoul are set to hold a news conference at 2 p.m. on Monday, joined by Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. CBS News Chicago will be streaming it live on their 24/7 news stream and on air, so stay tuned for more updates. The Associated Press also contributed to this reporting. This situation raises big questions. Is deploying the National Guard a legitimate way to protect federal interests? Or does it cross into dangerous territory by militarizing domestic politics? And here's a controversial twist. Some might argue that if cities are truly lawless, as the administration claims, then intervention is justified. But others see it as a slippery slope toward authoritarianism. What do you think? Should the president have this level of control, or is this lawsuit a necessary safeguard? Do you agree with the official stance, or do you side with the administration's view? Share your opinions in the comments below. Let's discuss. Lawsuit. www.cbsnews.com/Chicago, tag lawsuit. Illinois. www.cbsnews.com/Chicago, tag Trump administration, National Guard of the United States. www.cbsnews.com/Chicago, tag National Guard of the United States.